Boston College is some interesting players yet again. A lot of grad transfers, and those grad transfers need to really mix here, Dom.
Yeah, I wrote down Boston is transfer city, man. Like, there's a lot of colleges there. Could have chosen a bunch of them to transfer to, but Boston College ended up being the destination. I mean, Andre Adams from Southern Utah, 9 points per game. James Karnick, 12 points per game and 7 rebounds per game from Lehigh. And then Rich Kelly got 16 points per game. So those three guys coming in, they're going to provide some value for Boston College. They do have a 4-star recruit in coming in too. Now, they definitely finished off the year on a bit of a rough note, losing 6 straight games. They're at one point they were certainly capable of finishing the season strong and finishing in the top tier in the ACC, but they just finished bad. Does Boston College have a rebound year? Because they're normally in the middle of the pack when it comes to ACC basketball, consistently getting 1 to 2 big upsets a year. You didn't really see that last year.
And KenPom standards, this is a team that just wasn't very good either. A negative adjusted efficiency margin. Their adjusted offensive efficiency down below the top 200. A team that just wasn't very effective, but was able to find a way to win games in the ACC and not finish dead last in a conference that amongst the bottom and the mid-pack had a lot of parity. Those 4 grad transfers are going to have a lot of intrigue. I'll be curious to see what happens there. Tabs and Heath are going to have to be those top 2 guys. Their upside is a little bubbly here. I'm not going to lie. I think their upside could be one to where they are on the outside looking in on a bubble situation, but their downside is the bottom of the conference. And I do think that Boston College, they'll struggle. And if the bottom has a lot of parity again, wouldn't be too surprised to see Boston College come out of it with a solid 7, 8, 9 wins in the ACC. Definitely a team to watch out for, but still a team I think is going to finish at the bottom. The Pittsburgh
Right, and when you have
go ahead.
when you have a ton of transfers coming in, you're really a wild card team for the rest of the conference because you could boom, they could all gel together well, and you shoot up the rankings within the ACC, or you don't really play well together and you end up not doing too well. You could just have a bunch of players who don't play well together. So a lot of it's going to come down to coaching, in my opinion. We'll see. Boston College will be an interesting team to watch out for in the ACC.
Yeah, and we've seen this already with numerous teams we've discussed in our other few episodes. Because you could click on our episode on Spotify or Anchor, whatever podcast platform you prefer to go back and listen to some of our other preview episodes. We highly suggest you do that, by the way. But yes, Boston College is another one of those teams to where, Texas Tech comes to mind in the Big 12 episode, to where a lot of transfers, a lot of question marks. But I do think Boston College is significantly weaker than the Texas Tech, and they definitely could be in the bubble, but they could also be at the very bottom of the ACC.